been involved in Google for so long, and I know you've thought and been involved in also a lot of efforts to think about how to effectively organize, communicate information internally, empower, and make transparent the organization. Just talk a little bit about maybe sort of how that's evolved over time at Google and how much that remains a high value of the culture.
I mean, I think it's interesting tying into that question and the previous discussion. I mean, I think that one interesting observation that came out of Forbes, actually, from a guy named Quentin Hardy a few years ago, was he was talking about how organizations mimic the process that they're designed to run. And this kind of triangular, tree-like org chart that we all have is based off of factory assembly lines. Right? You've got 4 people on the line, you need 1 person to oversee them, 1 person to oversee the overseers, and you end up with this pyramidal structure. And one of the things that he saw happening at Google, and he also felt he saw happening in other places, is that he basically said, like, organizations, well, they still have that hierarchy because you do need some kind of management and accountability. More and more, he was seeing things operate like networks, right? Our system at Google is, we've got thousands of computers. Your query arrives, different computers light up, and they come together, and they play different roles to answer your question. And he was seeing more and more of that. Someone who is a lead on one project is an individual contributor on the next, and different people are jumping in with different skills. And I think that we see a lot of that overall at Google. The other thing about Google is, to your point, it's just a very vocal place and always has been, right? I mean, I've been there now for 12.5 years, and yes, obviously, social media and this empowerment has changed things somewhat. That said, it's always been a really vocal place. It's funny for me because I'm actually quite shy, and just by my nature, but I've never been shy at Google because Google just isn't a shy place. I've always felt very comfortable speaking my mind, and on really controversial topics, it's not unusual for me to know the opinions of dozens of other employees or hundreds of other employees, depending on how long the debate has gone on. And so people really do feel that they can speak their mind. They recognize also that you have to make a decision, and the decision may not go their way. But that said, I do think there's an opportunity to really say what you think, be heard out, debate it out. And as a result, I think that there are times when we come to much better decisions because there are 6, 7, 8 smart people who also have heard the opinions of dozens of other people all coming together and really trying to get to the best decision.